It's not just any monthly reset, it's the September reset. I don't know about you, but these kinds of video always give me the inspiration and the motivation that I need in that specific season. And for me, September feels like the real new year. The summer is winding down, the days get shorter, and I naturally want to spend more time in my home with my pets and my husband, but also I get this feeling of back to school, of getting things in order. Today's reset is part cozy, part practical, but very intentional. Let's dive in. We are starting the day with resetting some key areas in and around the home. During the summer, we spend a lot of time in the back garden, so we completely neglected the front terrace. This and a few strong winds recently have made it not usable. This area is partly covered, so we will definitely use it more in the months to come when we want to hide away from the rain. I started with some general tidying and some sweeping, then I moved on to clipping a bit of this bush. My husband will cut it back way more, but I just want to ensure that we're not walking into any of these thorns in the meantime. Next, we need to rearrange the furniture around so we can use it. The two-seater, we had it on our loan until now, but we can use it for sure for a few more months here on the terrace. The whole area needs a good pressure wash soon, but for now, this already looks much better. And here is the after. I've got a much nicer setup around here, and then I've got here a love seat and a little table. We don't really use the double doors unless it's just for airing, so that's the main entrance, so I try to leave this pathway here. I know it's a little bit much with a love seat here and two seats there, but we tend to use both. In this area, the sun hits in the morning, you can't really sit there, so you're gonna have to sit there, and also in the evening it's better to switch because of where the sun goes. So instead of moving things around all the time, I think this might be a better deal. And this is covered, so we can use this throughout the autumn, hopefully, even if it's raining. Another area that needs a bit of love is our letterbox. Once autumn properly sets in, we may decorate it nicely with some pumpkins or little ghosts or something like that. It is now ready and clean for when that time comes. Towards the end of September, I know that I'll get into bread making and reading again. So I thought I'll give our old oven a refresh and our cushions and blankets a good wash. One thing that I really wanted to talk about in this video is about the yearly goals. I noticed over the years that I'm very goal-oriented. I need to have a finish line to what I'm proposing to do. And for many years, I obviously set my goals in January for the full calendar year. But I noticed though that summers in general are a bit less focused on goals, and I try to spend a lot more time outside enjoying the weather. It's my social time of the year, and naturally with this I will pay attention less to my goals. I would fall off the good vibes that I would get in the spring, like winter and spring, and then my autumn will not be as exciting anymore. And what I started doing in the last few years was to set my goals in September, because then I have the autumn, winter and spring to smash my goals. The summer being a bit more of a reward for 3/4 of the year that I worked really hard towards something that I really care about. My goals set in September last year was to restart working towards a shoe brand, take more responsibility in the home, like cooking more and cleaning more, start sending cards, and see girlfriends at least once a month and read 12 books. So restart working towards a shoe brand, that wasn't really a priority for me, like very quickly after. I attempted around this time last year, but I got really disappointed really quickly, so I stopped even thinking about that, and that's still not something that I want to work towards. Take more responsibility in the home, cooking and cleaning. I think after November you took over that completely, so that was really not something that I've done. So
not really, I didn't really take over cleaning.
Yeah, maybe I did more cleaning and you did most of the cooking. But even cleaning, I didn't do it to the extent that I wanted to at that point. I wanted to keep like a tight ship when it comes to cleaning, and that has not happened at all. And then start sending cards. I don't think I sent not even one card. So that was rubbish. Okay, so see girlfriends at least once a month. I definitely done that. I think I would say more than once a month. So I would go.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. I would go even sometimes in the same weekend. One day I would see Ludivine, one day I would see Laura or something. And then read 12 books. I think I read around 10.
Really?
Yeah. And one is keep a bullet journal, which I've already started. And it's really fun and I like it. I like writing down stuff like little notes and coloring and stickering and stuff like that. So a bullet journal sounds really fun for me to try over the winter as well, when it's not so much to do outside. Post on YouTube once a week. So that would be the new focus from the shoe brand, going on YouTube more. Hopefully I can do once a week, but make efforts towards learning how to use a sewing machine. So this is again something indoorsy that I can do across the winter that is like would benefit me majorly, like also be a nice hobby. And yeah, this is definitely a goal for me right now. And then read 12 books. I put that again. Other one would be start sending cards. So but I would like to make the cards myself, and it's also a lot cheaper like this and a lot more personal, I think. So I have Peggy's birthday.
I don't get notified anymore by Facebook on birthdays. There you go, see birthdays. There's Poppy, 11th. Greg, 22nd of September. Joe is 4th of October.
As just mentioned, a new goal is to start making cards and sending them to my loved ones. So I sat down with my husband to make a list of all the cards that are needed for September and beginning of October. Ended up with around 16, that's quite a lot. Today I just prepared the paper cards and I'll be drawing, painting and writing them in the next week as a wind down after work. Next is mood boarding. This is very new for me, but oh, I already love it. Our mood board is done and it's on my desktop. I've chosen a few pictures that are showing nice simple tops because I will try to start sewing a top, and then chosen a few summery ones because we're going on a nice summer holidays in a bit, just for a long weekend, nothing crazy. Then both of these show reading because I do want to do a lot of that. Then we're going to also go on a road trip. So that's kind of showing a road trip, and we're going to go for a wedding. And then on the right side is towards the end of September, where I'm going to just do more homey things, and I guess the weather is going to get worse, so I'm going to do a lot of reading, a lot of painting, baking, being in the kitchen quite a lot. And lastly, I could not forget about my corporate life. I work full-time, so that is actually a big part of my life. And also I added a small snippet here of bullet journaling because that's also part of my goals and I want to be reminded of that. It has been actually really fun to me to think what is this month about and to put it into pictures like this. So I've just spent a little time putting down our expenses across all our cards. It's really nice to see what has happened in the last month and how you spent. We didn't really write down in each category how much we want to spend, but it's nice to track across the months how much you spent in a certain category. So I go down and I classify all our expenses within hobby, holiday, general life, other, which is like really miscellaneous stuff, going out or eating out, and subscriptions. Of course, life, rent, car, groceries, bills, it makes up about 58%. This particular month was quite heavy on the out. We spent 7.6% on out, and I do want to bring that way down. And another big category for this month is holiday. We had really big expenses related to 2 or 3 holidays. We booked flights, we booked accommodation, we booked pet sitters. So all of these are very expensive. So that's around 22% of our income. We only managed to put away about 9% or a bit less than 9%, which is a lot less than we want to. But yeah, that really happens in the summer where we go out a lot and we also plan buy a lot of holidays. And the way our lives is at the moment, we can't buy things way in advance. We need to plan them quite short term. So that makes our holidays even more expensive than they would normally be. I do hope that both of these categories, like going out and holiday, will go way down in the next months. So hopefully we will be able to save a bit more. Let me know if you want to see in the future the budgeting section a bit more in detail. I'm really an open book when it comes to what we spend, so if that would be interesting, let me know. Ta-da! Hello, welcome to the kitchen floor. Checking the freezer. It's not very full at the moment, but it's not very empty either. I just need to have a better understanding of what's inside, what we can use very quickly in the next month, if there is anything that I want to add to it. So we have some minced pork and minced beef mixed with pork. Then we have 2 casseroles of chicken breasts that we definitely can use. We don't have a lot of the cooked things. We only have some chili con carne and some sauces. Maybe we'll cook something to add to the stash just for those busy days. I don't have at all any chopped onions, so we're gonna prepare some of that in some ice cubes. For the freezer, I also want to have some meals ready too, and I'm baking some fish and boiling some potatoes for fish cakes. I do not have the full footage because my phone decided not to record for some reason, but in the composition I also added onion, eggs and broccoli. This month I had a lot of lemons, so I made some cubes as well to be ready. I use this just to add in my sparkling water, but also when I need a bit of lemon juice for a recipe. Let me know if you would want a more dedicated freezer restock videos, because I have so many ideas and I would love to share them on here if you're interested. One thing that I started doing was to prepare for the month a pouch for work. I take a little bit of time at the beginning of the month to reset it, make sure I've got everything that I need in here. Baby wipes. During that time of the month I get really oily around my face, so I will use this to quickly remove my makeup. If it feels like it sits on my skin instead of feeling natural, I'll use some of these throughout the day to just wipe it all off. Always have the CeraVe moisturizing cream with me. I have a vitamin box and I actually refill this every week. Some plasters. After lunch, to brush my teeth, I have a toothpaste and a toothbrush. Oh yeah, and something more that I need to put in is some pills, some paracetamol, some Nurofen, this sort of thing, something for the stomach, just in case you don't feel so good. I'll put this by my laptop to take it with me on Monday. Thank you very much for joining my reset for the month. Please let me know if you like them. I'll make more of these. I think a monthly series like this would be really fun to film and a really good motivation for me to keep doing them, and I can feel ready for whatever the month will throw at me. So thanks for joining again. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next one.